So I was a fan of WCW and I transitioned into a fan of TNA. So one of the common discussions I always hear is what killed WCW and what almost or was going to kill TNA in 90 days, as Dave Meltzer liked to put it. TNA was going to die in 90 days. And what did kill WCW? The true answer is there's no silver bullet. People say it was Hulk Hogan. People say it was the NWO getting recreated over and over and over again, trying to relive the heyday of when the NWO was dominating the television ratings and trying to recreate it over and over and over again. And some of those things definitely hurt WCW, like some of the things in TNA hurt TNA, like obviously losing AJ Styles, losing the Spike TV deal. Those things were big blows to the company, but didn't kill TNA. And any one of those things wouldn't have killed WCW, but it was a combination of so many of those things: bad booking, bad storytelling, losing. Ultimately, WCW was sold, but could they have survived if they got bought by Eric Bischoff? I think that they could have, had they went into cheaper talent. Obviously, Hulk Hogan was not an option. Ric Flair wouldn't have been an option. They would have had to recreate their whole company. But living off the WCW name could have definitely happened. But that didn't happen. They were sold to Vince McMahon and he put it on the shelf. And he really could have brought WCW back, but his ego wouldn't allow it. WCW could have been its own standalone brand, which was a rumor that they were going to try to do it on Tuesday night, have Nitro moved to Tuesday nights, but that never happened either. Could that have worked? Of course it could have worked if somebody like Vince McMahon wasn't in control with his big ego. And Vince McMahon has a philosophy: if he didn't create it, he didn't want it to succeed. And that's why WCW went on the shelf. I personally think TKO could bring back WCW to this day and live off the nostalgia of the name and would have a big footprint in professional wrestling with that brand. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could happen. We did see them talk about getting rid of some of the Vince McMahon ideas, and WrestlePalooza was part of that new strategy. And I think that could be very good for professional wrestling to get away from some of the Vince McMahon old way of thinking. But back to my original thoughts. AJ didn't kill TNA when he left. Vince Russo didn't kill TNA when he was there. Some of the bad booking decisions, um, even even Dixie Carter leaving was such a big deal. When Jeff Jarrett left, those were huge deals. When they left the company, it meant so much because it was so symbolic that Jeff Jarrett was on AEW programming. That was so symbolic. And when Dixie Carter was doing a little bit of work with WWE, that was so symbolic. And it meant a whole hell of a lot bad. It meant bad for TNA Wrestling. But it didn't kill them. AJ Styles leaving didn't kill them. And one thing TNA has, and I state this over and over and over again, what TNA has is heart, passion, love that can't be taught. You can't learn it. It's just something that comes with this product. TNA Wrestling is in Eddie Edwards. It's in Eric Young. It's in Frankie Kazarian. They just love TNA Wrestling. And it's even in guys like Mike Santana, who just love TNA. Hell, it's in guys like AJ Styles. AJ loves TNA. Give me a break. He knows that without TNA there would be no AJ. He has a part of him that still loves TNA Wrestling. It's in him because that place builds the same way ECW had that in people's hearts. Even though Paul Heyman was screwing his own guys, bouncing checks left and right, they still loved ECW because it was in them. It was in their heart. There's TNA just has that. AEW doesn't have that. And I dare to say WWE doesn't have that, with the exception of a few like John Cena, who truly loved the WWE and got one of the most piss poor send offs I've ever seen. The guy who never gives up, hustle, loyalty, and respect, taps out in his last match. Those are the kind of big moves that put a company under. The ESPN deal for WWE are the kind of moves that put a company under. Do I think that'll kill WWE? No, because it takes lots of those bad moves. It takes lots of those bad moves, but those are the quality of moves that it takes to put a company under. And WWE's making them, TNA's made them, and WCW made a whole hell of a lot of them. AEW's making them day in and day out. AEW has no passion. They have no heart. AEW um, doesn't have the drive that TNA has. And it's why I love TNA Wrestling. I love TNA Wrestling because it has heart. It has it has a passion. And when they get to AMC, it's not just another TV deal. It's the deal that it says, hey, we fucked up, but guess what? We're here. We made it. We did this. The deal on AMC is bigger than the deal on Spike because Spike didn't ever support TNA. They never got behind TNA the way AMC has already showed that they're supporting by putting them in a primetime slot out of the gate, putting them on a primetime slot. That's Spike TV didn't do that. They didn't put TNA on a primetime slot. They put them on Saturday nights. They put them at 11 o'clock at night and only gave them 1 hour. This is 2 hours in prime time, out of the gate, live. That's a lot of trust. And that speaks volumes. And that relationship will continue to grow if TNA continues to deliver and if AMC continues to deliver for TNA. Because that's big too. That's important too. I truly think when people talk about why WCW died and why TNA was going to die, they don't think about the fact that it's not a silver bullet. It's not one thing. The things that keep TNA alive and the things that could have killed it, the things that killed WCW, it's not the same. It's not one thing. It's not the new blood in WCW not delivering and rising. It wasn't the new blood Billy Kidman storyline or the finger poke of doom. How about that one? Everyone talks about the finger poke of doom and saying that was so detrimental towards the company's death because it diminished the WCW title. All that's true, but they can come back from that. You can come back from losing one wrestler. You can come back from diminishing your world heavyweight title. You can come back you can come back from your company wanting to be sold because TNA was sold. TNA has been sold multiple times and they have come back because again, they have heart. That's what WCW didn't have. That's what AEW doesn't have. They have heart. TNA has heart. That's the passion, the blood, the want to do it. The reason for doing it is because they know that they can be better tomorrow than they were yesterday. That they know that they can be better than they were last year. Or next year will be better. In 2026, I'm telling you, TNA will be better than they were in 2025. I guarantee it. And it's proven every single day. Higher attendance ratings in the United States with Slammiversary and Bound for Glory. And then they can do that week to week with their television show. And they can take TNA to places it's never been. Places higher than when they were on Spike TV. This can really happen, and it will happen. So this is why I love TNA, because they have heart, because they have passion, because they are different. They're different than WCW. They're different than ECW. Because guess what? WCW and ECW are dead. And TNA has outlasted both of those companies in length of period of time. They've outlasted both of them. Hell, they've been around longer than AEW, and they will outlast AEW. I am telling you that. You have my word. I guarantee it. I'm Kent Jones. I'm signing off. Y'all be good now. I love you, each and every one of you. Subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and tell me what's on your mind. I am a passionate TNA wrestling fan. I love TNA because TNA has heart, and so do I. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Check me out in my next video. Um, it's hard to come up with topics that I'm really passionate about, but this is one I really am passionate about. TNA has heart and they deserve to be a top tier wrestling company. I'm Ken Jones. One more time, I'm signing out.